What is going on? Welcome to Heaven on Earth. I'm Michael, the Leo Mystic. This is where I channel the astrological guidance for the 31st of January. And welcome February until the 6th of February, where we're going to start off the week with a new moon in Aquarius, new beginnings. All the planets are going to go direct by the end of the week. We're going to move forward. And if you want to download the spiritual guide for the new moon in Aquarius, all detailed with meditation, explanation, a guide to help you ask questions, and much, much more, you can join my newsletter. Just click the link below. And, you know, just starting off the week, it happens on Tuesday morning at 6:47 somewhere is the new moon in Aquarius, new seed. And Aquarius is all about being different. Not being different to be different, but because it wants to move forward. It wants to progress. Being progressive because it understands that life is constantly moving and constantly changing, and it is able to see the future. It is a fixed sign. So there's kind of like, we want to maintain what we have, but yet we have ideas. So the problem sometimes is implementation with Aquarian energy. We have a lot of ideas, we have a lot of insights, we have a lot of knowledge, but to move people is what's required of as in our effort, which is the polarity of Leo, to step into your courage and to actually act. But the new one in Aquarius is going to bring visions, going to bring ideas, it's going to bring ways, new ways, open new gates, open new doors for us to come together and really just put our minds together and then our hearts together to create something new. For you too, in your life, where do you want to install something new into the future? And you know, Uranus is made important here, Uranus is in Taurus. How is that connected to our Mother Earth? How is that supportive to her? How is she supportive to you? And how is that an interrelationship where we don't just take, you know? And we got to say Saturn, you know, is in Aquarius and is conjuncting the new moon, or the new moon is conjuncting Saturn. And that kind of, there is an ability to, you know, install new ideas. We're going to have new seeds for new scientific discoveries, new ways of doing things, coming together in group and respect each other's individuality, be creative and ingenious and all of that. But it requires a plan, a structure, and a check-in. There is kind of a limitation, there is kind of a delay that we're experiencing still. And it's interesting because, you know, Sun is going to hit Saturn and it's going to hit square, or, you know, it hit square Uranus, and it's still squaring Uranus, honestly, by now. And so that's the unpredictability that there is. Like, anything can happen. There's tension. And it's as if, like, you know, it is kind of a little bit too out of proportion, the ideas. So Saturn is like, I don't know about this. So what's required of us by the end of the week too is really, well, you know, it's a new moon and it is the seed of our whole month. So it is about a plan, a structure, and gradually moving forward and have it all figured out. You know, you don't really have to have it figured out as in laid out, but it's like, at least you got to come up with a plan. At least you got to come up with some kind of structure, because otherwise you're just going to keep hitting a wall. Now, the cool thing is that Venus and Mars are traveling through Capricorn, the sign of Saturn, all together. So we can join our forces. And it's really funny because as I checked, Venus and Mars are going to now conjunct Pluto together. Not necessarily this week, but in a couple of weeks. And this is interesting because Venus went retrograde and was kind of like, okay, I'm just going to see how this patriarchy, you know, is now dealing with the feminine energy. And let's now see if we can go on Pluto and go in depth together. And so there's this ability to install and bring in the feminine in a couple of weeks. And I would say in like 3 to 4 weeks. So that's beautiful. And Venus went direct. And do you feel that already? It's just like, it goes so much easier. It's, you know, there was like delays on money and delays on relationships, and just like we're now redoing it, and we're just installing new found like not territory but newfound ideas how to interrelate with people, and how we used to do it differently, and how we relate with money, and what's really valuable for us in our lives. And so what's funny also is that Mercury is retrograde still with this new moon in Aquarius, and brings it with. So there's still that kind of like that what we have discovered in relationships, that which we, you know, have discovered about our worth, how we relate with matter, with the material, and how, you know, we use relationships, and how we are interrelated, how we are dependent on certain people and certain situations, how we are dependent on, you know, certain material things to us. You know, do you really need your Netflix and chill? Do you really need your, you know, your McDonald's? Do you really need, you know, like even not that, but do you really need your amulets? You know, do you really need it? It's just like all of those things are being taken under, you know, the microscope. And Mercury retrograde over Pluto is just very sharp, and is just able to now pinpoint and understand and realize and just communicate differently and find the right words. And I think it's positive, but, you know, it's quite intense. So, you know, what's also beautiful with the new moon charts, so like a birth chart, a new moon chart, we got Venus on the ascendant. That's very promising. That's very beautiful. It's like attractive, and it's trining Uranus. So it's bringing in unexpected opportunities, unexpected beautiful things in our lives. And I think it's really, I feel it's like going to be an optimistic month, a really beautiful month. And also, you know, by the end of the week, we got Mercury going direct. And so that means that all the planets are now direct. And so whilst we have that new moon seed with a Saturn, we're like, okay, what's the plan? And, you know, remember, North Node is in Taurus, and that is all about what we have worked on for a lot of, you know, there's a lot of fixed energy if you think about it. New moon in Aquarius is fixed. Saturn in Aquarius is fixed. We got North Node in Taurus, and the South Node in Scorpio is fixed. There's a lot of fixed energy. And so, you know, the North Node in Taurus is really asking, what are you taking with that you have been building on your own worth, the value that comes from within, and that you are constructing all around you? You know, just like, you know, do you really live where you want to live? And how is that supporting you? How is that nourishing you? How is that really bringing and adding value in your life? But understanding that you are the one that is portraying that is projecting that outwards, and that it mirrors your inner environment, and for everything in your life that is worthy for you. So, you know, we are now moving forward so much, and you're going to see things speed up, and things are going to change. And like even Pluto is out of shadow by now, and is installing new change in Capricornian, institutional, patriarchal, authoritarian kind of ways, and I think kind of, you know, rebellious energy even, and that's also that Aquarian energy with a kind of rebellion, a kind of like fuck you attitude that is, you know, as a seed. But again, the rebellion needs to have a little bit of a plan. You know, you too, wherever you are rebelling in your life, in your relationship, in your money, in your independence, in your whatever it is, it kind of needs like, okay, yeah, I mean, it's all good that you rebel, but what's going to happen afterwards? Is there a certain kind of vision that you have that you want to implement? What's the strategy here? It doesn't have to be all detailed and stuff, but I think Mercury retrograde over Pluto is going to really help us do that. So a detailed plan is possible. So as I said, by the end of the week, all the planets are going direct, and you're going to feel the momentum. You're going to be pulled. You're going to be pushed in a way to like make things happen. And it's really going to go easier on us. So that's why I say, you know, I really feel February here. It's really beautiful month, even though it's only 28 days. I would say though that, you know, the 4th of February, when Mercury goes direct, the sun is on Saturn, and I already talked about that Saturnian plan. But the moon is on Neptune in Pisces, so I would wait until the 5th of February, less or more, or even, you know, the 6th of February, because then the moon is in Aries, and then now that's the new beginning. That's your start. The new moon is not necessarily like the call to really go. It's more like, okay, let's just gradually start, because Mercury direct, you know, it's just not all of a sudden like, boom, go. No, you know, it's just really about, okay, let's just start walking it Taurian way, kind of way, like a cow. It kind of takes its, you know, moment and it's time to get going, but like, so gradually, and then keep building momentum, then you're gonna go like a train by the end of February. So gradually, step by step, beautiful. Enjoy this energy. Got a really good vibe about this, so enjoy. See you next week. Bye bye. Much love.